What if I told you that the best workout for your heart might feel like the hardest one? For years, I believed slow and steady cardio, walking for an hour a day, gentle bike rides, was the safest choice for someone my age. But then, at age 72, something changed. After a minor scare at a routine checkup, my cardiologist said something that flipped my thinking completely. You don't need less intensity, Harold. You need shorter intensity, with better recovery. That's when I discovered high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. Yes, it sounds intimidating. But what if I told you that HIIT for seniors, done the right way, can actually make your heart younger, boost your parasympathetic nervous system, and even lower your blood pressure? Stay with me, because in the next 30 minutes, I'll show you how this one change transformed my heart, and why it could do the same for you. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments. Have you ever tried HIIT? Or do you still prefer regular cardio? Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt your heart racing after walking up the stairs? Or maybe just bending down to tie your shoes? You weren't running a marathon, but your heart sure thought you were. That moment, when your pulse rises faster than expected, has everything to do with how your autonomic nervous system works. And specifically, with the balance between the two parts, the sympathetic nervous system, which speeds things up, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which slows things down. You see, your heart doesn't just beat. It follows a waveform: contraction, relaxation. Boom, pause, boom, pause. That rhythm isn't random. It's the language your heart speaks. Most seniors don't die from a blocked artery. They die because their heart couldn't recover in time. It's not just about how hard the heart beats. It's about how well it recovers. That's why heart rate recovery, how quickly your pulse drops after exertion, is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. And the best way to train that? Not by doing 60 minutes of light cardio, but by pushing your pulse up, and letting it come down, again and again. That's what high-intensity interval training is really about. Not destroying your heart, but teaching it to recover smarter. In fact, researchers have found that HIIT can strengthen your parasympathetic nervous system, the very system that helps bring your heart rate down and helps your body heal. So let me ask you again. Do you want to just keep your heart beating, or do you want to teach it to recover like a champion? Comment below. Have you ever tracked your heart rate recovery? You might be surprised what it says about your health. In just a minute, I'll share the exact method I used to test my recovery at home. Let's settle this once and for all. Which is better for your heart, cardio or HIIT? Now, if you're like me, raised in the era of jogging tracks and fitness DVDs, you'd probably say, cardio, of course. It's safer, it's longer, and it burns fat. That's what I believe, too. But let me tell you a secret my cardiologist shared when I turned 72. He looked me in the eye and said, Harold, long cardio is like running your engine non-stop. It wears you down. HIIT? It's like revving the engine, then resting. Over time, the engine gets stronger. That changed everything. So let's break it down. Cardio, like walking on a treadmill or biking steadily for an hour, keeps your pulse mildly elevated. It trains endurance, but also elevates cortisol, the stress hormone, especially in older adults. Prolonged cardio also tends to reduce testosterone and growth hormone, both essential for recovery and vitality after 60. On the flip side, HIIT spikes your heart rate fast and high, then lets it drop and recover. You only need 20 to 30 seconds of effort, followed by 2 to 4 minutes of rest. And guess what? That pattern mimics natural heart rhythm better than long, steady cardio. Studies show that HIIT improves VO2 max, your body's ability to absorb oxygen, twice as effectively as cardio. And it strengthens the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what you truly need as you age. So, it's not about which one is easier. It's about which one teaches your heart to recover better. If you've spent years walking, biking, or swimming, that's great. But if you're not seeing improvements in your blood pressure, energy, or recovery time, maybe it's time to give HIIT a try. What about you? Have you noticed changes when switching from cardio to HIIT? Drop a comment, I'd love to hear your story. In the next segment, I'll share exactly how I started HIIT at home, without machines, without stress, and with zero injuries. Let me tell you what no one told me at 60. Exercise isn't just about movement. It's about recovery. And when it comes to your heart, recovery means everything. When I first started looking into high-intensity interval training, I didn't trust it. I thought it was for young athletes or people doing CrossFit in their 20s. But then I found something surprising. A study published in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology tracked older adults, some even over 70, doing HIIT 3 times a week. And not only did their VO2 max go up, their blood pressure went down. Their heart rate variability improved. And many reported better sleep, lower stress, and even a lighter mood. None of them exercised longer than 20 minutes total. So what's happening? You see, HIIT isn't just working the heart muscle. It's strengthening the entire cardiovascular system, from the lungs that push oxygen, to the arteries that carry it, to the parasympathetic nervous system that helps your body recover. And guess what? HIIT also boosts growth hormone and testosterone, 2 hormones we tend to lose after 60. Those hormones don't just build muscle. They repair tissue. They protect the brain. They even help regulate sleep. And let me be honest. At 72, I don't care about six-pack abs. But I do care about keeping my memory, sleeping well, and avoiding another hospital stay. What about you? If there was a 15-minute workout that could do all that, would you give it a try? In just a moment, I'll show you a simple breathing technique that pairs perfectly with HIIT to help your heart recover faster. Let me take you back to the morning that changed everything. I was 72. It was just another Tuesday. I had my black coffee, my favorite chair by the window, and plans to walk 2 miles like I always did. But that morning, something was different. I bent down to tie my shoes, and suddenly, I felt a strange flutter in my chest. Not pain. Not pressure. But an off rhythm, like my heart skipped a beat, and then stumbled to catch up. I sat still for a moment. Then I stood up, and the dizziness hit me like a wave. My hands were cold. My breathing is shallow. I told myself it was nothing. But something deeper told me, this isn't just aging. This is your heart asking for help. That afternoon, I visited my cardiologist. He ran tests. EKG, blood pressure, stress test. The verdict? No blocked arteries. No heart attack. But something just as serious, Harold, he said, your heart rate variability is dangerously low. Your parasympathetic nervous system isn't recovering fast enough. That's when I realized. I wasn't dying. But I wasn't living, either. That night, I sat at the kitchen table and made a decision. If I wanted to stay independent. If I wanted to stay sharp, sleep well, and live to see my grandkids graduate. I had to change how I moved. That's how I found high-intensity interval training. At first, I started small, 20 seconds of brisk stair steps, 3 minutes of deep breathing. Then slowly built up. And within just 3 weeks, I noticed something I hadn't felt in years. Clarity. Calm. Control. My blood pressure dropped. My sleep got deeper. Even my memory felt sharper. And the biggest surprise? I didn't feel exhausted after workouts. I felt recharged. That's the power of training your heart not to beat harder, but to recover better. Have you ever had a moment like that, where your heart gave you a warning? Tell me your story in the comments. Because I truly believe, every senior has one turning point that changes everything. Mini hook. In the next part, I'll break down my exact weekly HIIT plan for people over 60 with no fancy equipment. Be honest with me for a second. When you hear the words high-intensity interval training, what pops into your mind? People in tight spandex. Loud gyms. Jumping. Sweating. Maybe even injuries. I thought the same. Until I realized something powerful. HIIT for seniors isn't about pushing harder. It's about recovering smarter. You don't need a gym. You don't need six-pack abs. What you need is rhythm. Breath. Intention. Let me share what worked for me, and thousands of others like us, organized by stage of life, not stage of fitness. If you're 60 to 70, and still moving well. Stair step-ups, 20s 1 step, steady pace. Breathe with each step. Wall push-ups, 10 reps keep it slow. Controlled. Marching in place, 20s knees up, arms swinging, music optional. Rest 2 to 3 minutes. Repeat 3 to 5 times. If you're in your 70s, and your joints are speaking louder. Seated arm lifts, pretend you're lifting clouds. 15 slow reps. Breath walking, walk. Count. 4 in, 4 out. Chair sit stands, 5 to 8 reps no rush. Feel your strength return. Here, it's not the speed. It's the control that builds the heart. If you're 80 plus, or your heart's been through battles. Deep breathing plus soft finger movements, open. Close. Slowly. Seated leg lifts, 1 leg. 5 seconds. Then switch. Shoulder rolls, melt the tension. Forward. Backward. Gentle. These might look simple, but they awaken your parasympathetic nervous system and slowly rebuild your heart rate variability. What is our core goal? You're not training for a medal. You're training to see your grandchild's graduation. To walk into your doctor's office with confidence. To sleep better. Breathe deeper. And maybe, just maybe, to dance again. So tell me in the comments, which one of these movements feels like the right place to begin for you. Coming up, I'll show you exactly how to structure a 3-day HIIT routine using these exercises. No machines, just your breath and will. Let me ask you something from the heart. If you could rebuild your heart, not with surgeries or pills, but with 3 simple mornings a week, would you take that deal? You see, most people think they need to run 5 miles or sweat for an hour to stay healthy. But the truth is, longevity isn't built in the gym. It's built in the moments you choose to rest after effort. That's the hidden wisdom behind high-intensity interval training. It's not about doing more. It's about recovering better and living longer because of it. So here it is, my personal 3-day HIIT rhythm I've followed faithfully. It fits on 1 sheet of paper. No gym. No gear. Just heart, breath, and consistency. Monday, wake up the rhythm. Warm up, 3 minutes deep breathing, shoulder rolls. Main moves. Step-ups, 20s. Arm swings, 20s. Wall push-ups, 10 reps. Rest, 3 minutes. Repeat 3 rounds. Focus, activation. Just tell your heart, we're waking up now. Wednesday, restore and reconnect. Warm up. Seated breathing, arm circles. Main set. Chair stand sit, 5-8x. Seated leg lifts. Slow walk with breath, 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Focus, gentle movements that speak to the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that heals. Friday, short, sharp, strong. Warm up, gentle joint rolls. Main set. Fast stair steps, 20s. Chair stand with overhead reach, 5x. March in place, 20s. Rest, 4 minutes. Do 2 to 4 rounds. This isn't about intensity. It's about intentional effort plus quality recovery. You don't need more willpower. You need a system that shows up with you, even on the hard days. That's what this 3-day rhythm is. A small promise you make to your future self. If you're ready to try this plan, comment yes below. And let others know, this isn't about working out. This is about coming back to life. In the final part, I'll reveal what changed after 90 days, and why this rhythm gave me more than just health, it gave me hope. I didn't plan for this. Not the flutter in my chest. Not the quiet warning from my doctor. Not the way my breath would tighten just from tying my shoes. I certainly didn't plan on rebuilding my life at 72. But life doesn't wait for perfection. It waits for honesty. And 90 days ago, I chose to stop pretending I was okay. I didn't want to be young again. I just wanted to feel present. In my mornings. In my body. In my life. Since starting this high-intensity interval training routine, just 3 times a week, I've seen changes I didn't think were possible at my age. Yes, my blood pressure dropped. Yes, my heart rate recovery improved. But more than that, I felt like I came home to myself. Every breath became steadier. Every step, more certain. And every time I finished my short HIIT session, I'd hear it, quiet, steady, strong, I'm still here, my heart would say. That's what HIIT gave me. Not abs. Not youth. But presence. Peace. Permission to live again. Have you ever felt like your body was leaving you behind? Comment below. I read every story because I know every story holds a turning point. Subscribe if you're ready to reclaim your rhythm. I'm Bennett. I'm not finished yet. And neither are you.